Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. Tonight we're going to be checking out a new EDC light, so let's get into that on Tinker with Tools. Now before we get started tonight, I just want to mention that I did receive this light free of charge from flashlightgo.com. They provided me the light and asked that I do a review of it, but they don't get any advance notice of what's going to be in the review, and they haven't dictated anything that I need to say. All the opinions are still going to be my own, but I do like to disclose any relationship I have with a brand or a vendor so that you can factor that in any buying decision that you're making. Now the light they sent me is the Sofirn IF24. If you're anything like me, this is not a brand I had heard a lot of before getting this flashlight, but overall my opinions right off the bat have been pretty favorable. It has a lot going for it, and especially at the price point they offer it at, it does definitely have some decent value to it. Now in terms of feature set, this is going to be a multi-mode flashlight. The main light is going to feature up to 2000 lumens with various different settings. There is going to be a turbo mode that is going to have up to that 2000 lumens. Then a high is going to be 700 lumens, medium is 150, and low is 10 lumens. And then there is a moonlight mode that is going to be 1 lumen that is beneath everything. In addition to those standard kind of light intensities, if you will, there is also going to be 3 additional modes: strobe, SOS, and beacon. Strobe is going to be really rapid blinking at full light intensity. The SOS is going to do the SOS pattern at the medium setting, so at that 150 lumen mark. And then beacon is going to be once again the full intensity, but just a very intermittent beacon. You know, if you get yourself in a situation where you're trying to signal someone, that will help it kind of conserve energy, but give you the best chance for being seen as well. Now, in addition to having that main light, there is also a side light that is going to offer all the different same settings, but it's going to be at different intensities, capping out at 500 lumens for the turbo setting on the side light, then dropping down to 200 lumens for high, 100 lumens for medium, 20 lumens for low, and then once again there's a moonlight setting there, and you do find those same 3 additional settings that are going to be on that side light as well. I kind of view the main light as going to be more your standard flashlight, and the side light is going to be more of that floodlight that is going to give you a little more versatility, or you can go ahead and use it almost as like an area work light. In addition to that, there is a third setting that is going to be using the side light as well, and that's that there's a strip of colored LED lights that are going to be in the middle. Now by default, when you turn it on, you are going to be seeing just a red light of solid strip, but then they also do have additional modes there as well. Now if I'm being completely honest, the colored lights on the side are going to be more of a party trick in my opinion. I get that the red light can kind of help in night vision situations. The rest of them, I think it's something that my kids find more entertaining that would actually be necessarily useful on there, but it is nice that they do have some additional functionality in there and that it is very customizable to how you want it or how you will best work with it. All right, now you might think that going through all those different light settings would be complex, but I think that's where the Sofirn IF24 does really shine, is in its user interface. Right up front, you're going to have a wheel that is going to have 4 different options on the outside. It will rotate between lock, main light, side light color, and allow you to do different things with the button in each one of those settings. Now when you go to the main light, a simple press and hold is going to activate moonlight mode. A quick press, which I think is what most of us are going to use most of the time, will go into whatever setting between high, medium, low you had it in last. Once you are in that high, medium, or low mode where you just have the single press on, you can go ahead and press and hold, and it will cycle through those 3 light modes. And then a double press will take you into turbo mode, and continual double presses will then take you through those other 3 modes on there. When you go ahead and move this light in the opposite direction, you are going to activate the side light, and once again a single press and hold is going to take you into moonlight. A single press will take you into high, medium, or low, with press and hold being how you cycle through those 3. And then at last but not least, the double press will take you first into turbo on the side light and then cycle through those different modes. Now the last mode on the wheel is going to be the colored light mode. This one's a little bit different in that there is no moonlight mode with the colored LEDs. You do still get just a single press on and then press and hold cycles through the different colors. And then the double quick is going to enter into those special modes. I'll have them all listed down below. Now, in terms of other features, I just want to kind of run through them really quick. So first off, it's an all aluminum body. It does feel decently robust. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think this is going to survive giant falls, just because the side plastic on here is basically flush mounted. So if you do drop it on anything sharp like a rock or a pebble, I think there's decent chance that that is going to get cracked. It feels fairly rigid right now, so maybe I'm wrong. I'm not necessarily going to throw it on the ground to find out when we're still trying to test it out. But like I said, you're not paying for some $100 heavy duty flashlight with this. I think at the price point, the build quality is sufficient. Next up, it does charge with USB-C. There is just a removable rubber cover there. This is IP, I believe, 66 dust and water ingress rated. It can survive a little bit in the weather. On the back end, there is going to be a magnet, so you can go ahead and adhere this to metal surfaces to use it more in that work light setting. And then it does run off of a single 18650 cell. This is a Sofirn branded 3000 milliamp hour version, but you can just go ahead and recharge it using the USB-C or carry a second cell so that you never have any downtime and then just recharge them as you can. The belt clip is decent, so I think overall the rest of the build quality is pretty good. So then in terms of performance testing, I did go ahead and measure the actual light output of the different light modes using a light meter that measures in lux. Getting something that is capable of reading outputting in lumens is a little more complex, so this is what we have for now. Now, in addition to that, I did do a runtime test. Then it was set to high and we turned on a time lapse. So I'll go ahead and show you the results of that. All right, so as a conclusion after all that, I have had this light for roughly 3 weeks now, been using it consistently as my only flashlight during that time, and I have to say, I'm rather impressed with it. When you start talking about flashlight prices, if you go ahead and look at the different flashlights that are in that $20 to $30 price range, you're typically not getting something that's going to have a rechargeable battery with this amount of power or lumens and with this many light modes. Now, is it going to be as robust as the more expensive flashlights? I don't necessarily think so, but I don't really have any initial concerns about the quality as long as you're not just absolutely beating on this flashlight. I think the user interface is clever and I think it is pretty intuitive once you get used to it. I would recommend checking out kind of the flow chart of the different modes in the instructions. They are actually pretty decent instructions and a really great way to help you understand how to get the most out of this light. So this is something certainly that will get a Tinker with Tools recommendation if you're in this price point and looking for a light with a bunch of different features. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, flashlightgo.com is who sent this over to me. Go ahead and check out the link provided down below for this flashlight, but also as you check this one out, go ahead and check out all the different flashlights that they do have to offer. They carry almost every top brand of flashlight. So far, dealing with them has been great, and I definitely think that there is something of value in having all the different lights there so you can kind of contrast and compare and see what works out for you. Be sure to check them out if you're interested in this or any of the other lights they may carry. Now, if you have any questions about this, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. If you have a recommendation for a different light to check out, let me know in the comments below. Certainly open to trying out a few more and finding out which one is going to be the best. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified when I put out new video. And then as always, thank you for the support. And until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.